What's up everyone, it's DV. So I wanted to give you some tips and tricks in Roblox Islands. Some of these are actually familiar to many of you, so I get that. But we're gonna cover a bunch of stuff and hopefully you learn something new. Even if you have been playing Roblox Islands for some time, I always try to find something you may not have known. I always try to find something. But here we go. So before I begin, be sure to hit that like button and smash the subscribe button if you are new, and let's go. So first up, I wanna tell you about the secret room. So again, many of you may already know this, but some of you are new to the game, and that's what this is about. So you should already know about this. So you can actually create a sky platform by creating something like this. So if I made this taller and taller, and you can do it exactly like this. You can use glass as well, and you can actually space it out so it's not as visible. So you see how I'm doing like every other. And what's going to happen is after I spawn in, so say I spawned in, I'm going to drop down here. Now I need to drop down, and I'm going to spawn on top of this. So imagine how high you can go up. So you can make a sky platform out of this so that it's a secondary spawn point. Now, whenever someone first visits you, they will always spawn right there, right? So you just have to dig all the way down to your bedrock. If you don't have bedrock, even better, because they'll just drop directly straight down, which is good. So if you jump off into the void, you will automatically respawn to the highest point. That's how I did my old base. So if you remember my old island, that's how I got it. You know, that's how I toggle. And if you want to disable it, take out this bottom block there, and the next time they come down, they'll just kind of fall through. So it's up to you if you want to keep disabling it, but we don't want to disable it. So we're just going to go and plop that block back in here, and then I'm going to go fix this. And now we're back in business. Many of you already know about that, but some of you don't actually know about the secret room. The secret room is something only you can access. And here's how it works. So you see over here, I've got a block. This is your respawn when you come back through the portal. So this is your respawn as soon as you come back through this portal. Only you can come back through your own portal. If someone else went out here and then came back through, right? They're going to portal on their own island, except if you are on a published island. If you're on a published island, you're gonna want to disable this because then your room's not so secret anymore. And all you gotta do is just take out the bottom block. I'll show you what I mean. So say you wanted like a secret area really, really high up, and this is actually how I'm gonna do my base. So I'm gonna actually have a secret area, and it's gonna be built with glass, right? So I'm gonna use glass blocks all the way up. And so you can see here, if I were to come through and then come back through my own portal, I'm at the top of this. And so that's a really cool way to do something that, you know, only you can access, because no one can get up there, right? Like they'll just be jumping up and down, and you're gonna be like, what's up? And they won't be able to get up there. So maybe you have a treasure room or something you don't want them to access, then this is a great way to do it. And you can see here, this is the start of my new island. So I've already started on my new island, coming along pretty well. I've got a bunch of coal from my alt. So I'm making good progress. I have a lot of ideas and have a lot of plans on what I'm gonna do with this. And again, I just wanna remind everyone, I actually intentionally reset. So some of you are feeling sad and stuff about my reset. It's okay. My reset was completely in control. So yes, I only have 1,300 coins right now. That is completely okay. I'm like, I did that on purpose. We're all good. We're all good. Don't worry. So that is the secret room. So, you know, of course I didn't build a secret room yet, but what I'm going to do is it's going to be really high up there, and it's going to be like a floating box. So it'll have view of the entire island, so people aren't snooping into my stuffs, because they always snoop. That's the first thing they do. They go run over to my chest and they're like, what's in here? I'm like, dude, get out of my chest. Get out of my storage. All right, next I want to talk about wall glitching, and I'm not actually trying to show you how to wall glitch, but I'm gonna go ahead and explain it. If you want to watch how to do that, you can check out Panda Plays. He actually has a really good video on that. I don't know if it's considered hacking, so I don't really want to teach it, but you need to know how it works in order to be able to defend against it, right? You need to know how it works in order to be able to defend against it. So say you had like a secret room that you didn't want anyone in, and suddenly someone's like, hey, you got a wall, and then just walk right through it, right? So that is kind of, you know, to me, that's kind of annoying. It's more annoying than anything, but it is kind of glitchy. But say you had a wall, right? And you're like this, and you're like, man, I'm gonna put all my great stuff behind here that I just don't want anyone to see or whatever. Well, they could just do this, and they just walk through, right? They literally just walk through your wall. So how do you solve that? Well, the first thing you can do is you can add a single layer in front of your wall so they can't walk up against it. It's really hard for you to wall glitch like that, right? So like you can't like walk up to this and wall glitch. You're gonna keep falling over and over and over and over, and that's gonna discourage them from doing it. So, right? There's no way. It's just annoying. So that is one way to do it. Now, if that's not an option, you could try this. You could try a double layer wall and even a triple. Triple is always gonna be better. I would actually just show you a triple. And I know it's excessive, but you'll understand why in a second. And then you take out the floor of it. So you take out the floor. So if there was a floor under that, you just knock that out so that when they're coming through, they're gonna fall to the void. There you go. So now you got that full layer right there. Then we're gonna turn it on. You can see I'm stuck. It's not super effective. I'll still probably get through, but it's really buggy this way. Third layer will really slow them down. So they're gonna totally get bugged out, and then they're gonna be like, dude, right? So let's go through, and usually you're gonna get stuck. It doesn't always work, so you can still sometimes get through, but it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder than a single wall. See, I got glitched again. So sometimes you can get through, sometimes you can't. And that's actually why you wanna do a triple layer if you can. To super foolproof it though, to really foolproof it. So visually, it looks fine. So visually, that looks fine, right? They won't see the hollow wall inside. And then you go like this, and you're glitching, and there you go. You're gonna fall and keep falling and falling because there's a protective layer. There's no way for you to stand there and glitch through the next layer. So that is a great way for you to truly protect stuff. So the other thing you want to do is just remember, if you're trying to protect something, wall hoppers. So I don't know how to wall hop. I mean, my avatar doesn't even allow wall hopping, but you're gonna want to make this a way taller for wall hoppers. The other thing you can do for wall hoppers is just do something like this, so that while they're hopping, they can't, like, you know, so make it tall enough, obviously, because they can still hop that. So make it tall enough so that if they were to do it, you know, they can't do it if there's no way for them to, like, the wall hop onto that. So that is another way to have a security defense. So now, as a reminder, how to do fast pick. So a fast pick is actually something like this. Let me show you the fast pick. I'll just go show you this stone that I'm gonna have to take out anyway. So a fast pick is using a macro tool. So I have a macro tool that I like to use called pullover macro. I've made so many videos on pullover. It's unbelievable. If you haven't seen any of those videos yet, why not? So I will link to a couple of those. So this is what pullover macro looks like. It's basically a pullover macro creator. So what we're gonna do here is see this little mouse icon here. We're gonna click that, and we're gonna add a mouse action, and it has to be button left and then a hold, right? So left button hold, and then you have to use a send command. So it's got to be through a send. So those are the only things you need to worry about. And then you're gonna wanna change the delay, keep the delay at least, like, I would say under, if your computer's killing over, try to keep it at 50. So I'm gonna show you 50. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna click on the command you just got. Don't double click it, because, you know, it's gonna do that. If you double click it, just click it, and then go to commands up top, and you're gonna loop it. So commands and then loop. And then just click OK. And now we got our loop. Now, one thing to note, there's so many people that don't even pay attention to this, and it's unreal. So when you play it, hit F12 to stop it. Now, if you have any other keys bound to F12, meaning if your Roblox game is bound to F12, if anything you do is bound to anything else you do inside your computer, like if F12 will launch Internet Explorer, or F12 will, you know, start recording or something, then F12 won't stop it. So you got to be careful with that. But I'm going to go ahead and show this right now. So I'm unequipping this. As soon as I equip it, see how it's going? It's going really fast. So this is called a fast pick. So this is my fast pick. And Jesse Games actually had a video. I will link that in the description as well, so you can check his out. But he's got one that does not require a macro. And it's really hard to see now because the new inventory blocks it. The old inventory used to show you like what you were doing. Now it's really hard to see what's behind the inventory. But check out his video. He shows a whole tutorial on how to do it without a macro. So that is the fast pick. Definitely check that out. I have created a fast pick video that actually does cover Jesse's method as well, but you can check that out in the description below. And then let's see. Okay, so next up, I want to show you how to weapon switch. This is another credit to Jesse. I'm taking all Jesse's ideas right now. So definitely shout out to Jesse, but I just, you know, so I actually discovered this like well over a month ago when I was looking for auto farms for Buffalo Court, and I was trying everything. And one day I was like, and I was thinking, wouldn't it be crazy if you could actually auto switch your weapons and attack at the same time if there's no cooldown? And sure enough, it worked. Now, instead of making a video, I actually did report it to dev, and just because it was lagging the server quite a bit. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do this if you'd like to do it. It does require a macro tool again. You can use Tiny Task or Macro Creator. I'm just gonna use Macro Creator in this case because I can fully control the script. I'm gonna show you how I do that. But what it essentially is say I've got the spell book, right? So I can use the spell book, and then I can swing, and then I can use the, you know, any other weapon. So you can actually have like the War Axe, you can have Title spell book, you can have a regular spell book, you can have the Gilded Steel Hammer, you can have whatever you want, and you can cycle through all of those and attack all at once. And it just demolishes the mobs, but the problem is that it does lag the server heavily. So if you're gonna do this on your own. Don't go to a public server and start doing this because it's gonna be really, really annoying. So how you do it is we're gonna bring up pullover macro again. So if you remember, we actually still have our loop here from the last example. We can go ahead and just remove that. And you can see what slots I currently have the weapons at, right? I have weapon in number 1, 2, and 3. So what we want to do is we want to do a keystroke. So we're going to insert in keystroke of 1. So we just click 1, insert, and then we're going to left click to fire, right? So we're to click. So we got a left click. So we go to the mouse right here. So go insert mouse, and then right here, you're going to do a left click. So it's pretty much the default here. Now I like to put a slight delay. I would say like a 20 millisecond delay would be good. Even a 50 would be good. But here's the thing. When you start this, you're going to want to make sure all your weapons are unequipped, right? Because if you hit 1, it's going to unequip it. So if it's equipped or ready, so let me show you what I mean. If it's equipped already, if you're going to click 1 again, it's going to do that. So you need to make sure that you don't have anything equipped when you start the script. So make sure it's in the correct order too. You can just drag these around to reorder them. But make sure number 1 is selected first, and then it's going to be left click. And then we're going to add another keystroke. This is intimidating for you. Tiny Task will help you out quite a bit. And so just drag that. We're going to copy and paste another left click. So you can copy and paste these all day long. So I just Control C, or you can right click and copy, and you can right click and paste. So that's a good way to copy stuff. And then I'm going to go ahead and insert one more keystroke, and it's going to be the number 3. And now we've got it, right? So first so this is gonna loop. It's within a loop. So all these are inside of a loop. It's gonna hit 1 to equip 1, then it's gonna left click. It's gonna hit 2 to equip 2, and then it's gonna left click. It's gonna hit 3 to equip my wooden sword, which is horrible, but then it's gonna left click. Technically, I probably should just rotate between 1 and 2, but it's gonna be so fast that these are still gonna be under cooldown. So I might as well hit with a sword. Ideally, you're gonna have an aquamarine sword here instead. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit play, and then remember F12 to stop. F12 to stop. But see this? This is crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you on a mob real quick. I just hit F12 to stop it. You know, now you're not invulnerable, so you still have to kind of pace yourself. But it's just so much faster to kill stuff. It is pretty cool. It does start lagging stuff after a while, so after a while it just becomes really ineffective, and you might die because of lag. So again, not really worth it. But if you want to check it out, that is a cool little tip for you that you can actually do. Again, shout out to Jesse for making a video on that, and I will link that in the description so you can see his video in full, because he's a cool dude. You need to watch his videos. So next tip here is using bamboo. You should already know where to get bamboo. If you are new to the game and don't know where to get bamboo, you just come out here, past this adventurer guy through. It says you need a weapon. You actually don't. I don't think you actually need a weapon to get through here, because I've been through here without weapons. You may want one. You may want one for sure, but you want to cut this down here. So all you need is 1. So what you can do is when you come back to your island with this, it actually grows. So bamboo will actually grow for you. You just need to put it on a flat grass block and it'll start growing. So let's go ahead and teleport back. So you can use bamboo now as a ladder. So check this out. So I'm just putting a little bit here and you can climb it. So if you just want a really tiny little ladder that doesn't stand out too much, that's a great way to do it. You can also use other things for ladders. Like you can use stairs for ladders. You can use slabs for ladders. So if you want to make it look cool looking, so that is a great shortcut. So like maybe you have a house in the back and you don't want a big ladder to be, obvious. So maybe you just put something like this next to your house and you can just go pink and get to the roof. Now another tip here is using glass to auto click up to the sky really far. So some people are always, some people build up, right? And so I'm going to show you something. And I showed this in one of my videos recently, but I'm going to show it again. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to equip your glass. You're going to equip grass, right? So now if I wanted to get up really high really quickly, most of you are going to try something like this, right? You're going to use a block and you're going to jump while you click. And at some point this is a problem, because at some point you're going to click and you're going to fall off like that, right? And you're probably not going to save yourself like this. So that is super annoying, because you just fell off, and say you've been doing that for a while and you fall off. That's really annoying, right? Well, glass, what you can do with glass is just click that and then you can auto click. So I've only been able to do this with glass effectively, but let's go ahead and do this real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and start auto clicking, and see I'm just jumping. I'm just holding the space bar and I'm auto clicking, and there's no slippage. My character's not falling whatsoever. So that is a really great way. I've actually just gone all the way to the top doing that. So you just don't move, and unless you run out of blocks. Now, if you saw the little wobble at the end, was because I ran out of block and was still auto clicking and it didn't know what to do. So it just kind of did like this weird jump and almost fell off. But as long as you're auto clicking and have enough glass, you're in good shape. But here's why. Let me explain why. So let me show you something. If I were to go against this block, see if I rotate the camera, it blocks my view, right? It completely blocks my view. Now you see I'm sitting inside my head. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with glass. It doesn't block my head. It lets me see through it. This is something to do with the engine. So the engine actually, usually translucent or transparent blocks, Roblox will let you see through like this. So the camera does not get obstructed. See how I'm like obstructed now? So the camera it's just how the camera works in the game. So when you're looking through glass, you can see through it and you can rotate around it. So that's why a lot of the times, you can actually put like glass blocks here. So if I were to, for a solid object, if I do this, you see how I'm on the floor? Now, if I actually cut this glass down, you can see through it. So if you have a glass floor and you're building, you can actually do this. So like you can go under and you can actually do stuff under your island as long as you have glass. So you can even step on it and you can see through it. Now I'll try to do that on stone. Good luck. It's not going to let you. You have to go to the side or something, but you can do it with glass. So that's how I typically do stuff, is using glass. Again, glass is super versatile for a lot of things for building. Next, I want to show you something that is super useful. So a lot of you don't actually realize that the obby kit does work without the game pass for you. So if you don't have the obby kit, go buy it. You know, you can get it from a vendor. They're not cheap, but they didn't lock it for game pass. I was actually surprised that they didn't. A lot of people are telling me, yeah, it works. I don't have to have the game pass. So now if they were lying to me, then I'm sorry, but I've been told that by so many people, and I have never confirmed it myself, but so many people that I don't know, including on streams, have told me it works. So we'll just trust them. But you see here, I'm actually working on my new island, and some of these areas here can get a little sketch, right? So let's say I'm over here and I'm like, and I do a little hop, and then I'm like building stuff, and I slip. Oh, I fell, right? And how many of you have actually had that happen? I would guarantee you 100% of you have actually had that happen. If that's the case, then you don't want to have to keep traveling all the way back over there. You were just over there, right? And now you're like, oh, I got to go back over there, and you got to go. So just use the obby kit. So what I do is I just use the starter checkpoint, and you can use other checkpoints too. So I've got the starter here. So as long as the timer's going, if I were to fall, then I teleport where I was just at. Now you can also use blue checkpoint flags to help you with certain positions. So say you're all the way back here, and then if you add some more checkpoints over here. So it doesn't always have to be for the mini games. You can actually use this as a tool to help you with your building. So I fell here, and now I'm going to teleport where I was just last at. So I use this for building quite a bit. Offline from the video, I was actually doing this last night, and I kept falling, so I was like, okay, I'm just going to do my obby trick, and that saved me a lot. That saved me a ton of time. So next, I want to show you how to make something that looks like lava blocks. So the new honeycomb is actually very much looks like lava. So if you look at, I've got a honeycomb block, so I'll make a honeycomb block so you can see what I'm talking about. And a lot of people actually keep seeing, people are saying, I don't know where to get the honeycomb or the honeycomb block. So just go to tier 3 and scroll down. And it's not all the way at the bottom, right? It's not all the way at the bottom. It's right here. It's right after the fences. It's right after the last fence. So click on that, and you can craft it. I can craft a ton of it here. But I'm going to go ahead and craft like 5 of these real quick. And so I actually auto AFK'd. I'm going to show you an auto AFK for the honeycomb. It's really easy. But here, so you can see here, I've got this regular honeycomb. It looks like pretty plain right now. And I can put it right here. And after a while, it starts looking like lava. So you have to use red glass. Unfortunately, I don't have any more red glass. I lost it all. But you know, basically what you're going to do is you're going to put red glass on top of this, and it will look a lot like lava because it starts turning into this orange tint, and it just looks like lava. So this already kind of looks like just really yellow lava, but you can actually just, like I said, add the red tint. Next up, I want to show you how to auto harvest honeycombs. So I've got 2 beehives here, and ideally your trees would actually be aligned and set up next to each other. That'd be so much easier, but I don't have that opportunity right now. So if the trees were in a better position, you wouldn't have to do what I'm about to do. But these trees are in horrible position on my island. So what you're gonna have to do in this scenario is you're gonna actually have to raise your platform up, and that way your conveyors are all even with it. So we're gonna bring them down here. It's like making a little train track. That's all we're doing, a little train track. We're gonna hop off so we can get up top. Now yours does not have to be elevated like mine right now. But ideally you wanna position your trees next to each other in a way like this so that they're loaded in the same way. And what I mean by that is the way you plant them should be identical. So make sure you plant your trees in an identical angle. And then sometimes now, the one thing I will tell you is trees do randomly spawn different models. You know, ideally you want the same model as well. So if you plant a sapling and it grows to be a different model, then you should probably replant it. So you're gonna have to do some trial and error. What I'm gonna do here is, you can see I've got the angle here. So if I wanna continue with that angle there, I gotta cut right here. So let's cut left to there, and we're gonna try it out. Okay, so we got that mouse cursor working on that one. So we're just gonna speed this up, and cursor works on that one. So now we got a loop, we got a circuit. It does, like I said, it takes some trial and error. You just need to find a consistent angle and position of your track to be able to farm everything. But now we would just hit an auto key presser. See, I just got I got a couple of honeycomb there. And you could use the same exact format for fruit, but I wouldn't recommend it because fruit is not worth as much as honeycomb right now. Honeycomb is worth way more. So now I'm just gonna spam F. So I just got a couple honeycomb. So you can overnight this. You can just have an auto F key presser, and you can overnight this and get hundreds and hundreds of honey. So I did this on a single beehive, and I accumulated about 240 overnight over the span of, I think it was only like 5 hours. I only got like 5 hours of sleep that night, but I got 250. So I think you're getting about 50 an hour, something like that. And that is just off of 1 beehive. So imagine having 2, you're gonna have 500 plus in 5 hours. So you're gonna do about 100 an hour for 2 beehives. Now, you know, those stats are just based on my initial test and what I did. It's not 100% accurate, but you can at least go by that. But yeah, you're just gonna hit an auto key presser. You can use pullover macro for the auto key presser, or you can find a key presser macro tool. There's tons of key pressers out there. The key pressers I found were usually paid. So that's why I use Macro Creator, because I use Macro Creator for everything because I can script it and fully control it. So I don't mind that. So I just got another honeycomb. So that is a a great way to farm honeycomb. If you want to do that, that is the way to do it. And the last tip I will give you after destroying my island is how to reset your island. So I actually reset my island. And the reason why I reset my island, I told many people the reasons why. One is my island was just too big, especially after I added the maze. I regretted it as soon as I made it because it was huge. It was huge, so it slowed all my loads. Anytime I'd get kicked out of a published server, it would take forever to load, and it's just a mess. So I'm actually redoing my island. And so if you wanted to redo your island, or maybe your island got corrupt, one thing you're gonna want to do, put anything that is valuable in your inventory. So I would go over here and grab those flags. I would grab all the sea lanterns. I'd probably even grab the coal, but if I have too much coal blocks, then I'd probably just delete it and I would just leave it, and I just get more coal. But even harvest all your flowers, because flowers are valuable. Harvest these, so break these down. So anything that's super valuable, you're gonna want to break down before you hit the reset key. And what I mean by reset key is there's no actual key. You just type in a command reset. So if you type /reset, it'll say reset island. Are you sure you want to reset your island? And clicking reset island will actually kick you, but it'll delete everything on your island except whatever's in your inventory. Anything that's in your inventory is gonna be kept safe. Anything you put in your inventory is gonna be kept safe, but it'll basically bring you back to the default newbie island. Now, if you have an older legacy island, just as a warning, you will end up with bedrock because the old islands do not have bedrock. I didn't mind having bedrock. It's not that big of a deal. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button and smash the subscribe button if you're new. And again, I'm working on my new island. It is going to have some similarities to my old one that I really liked, but it's going to be way better. It's going to be way better, more efficient for me. It's going to look cooler. You're not going to spawn inside of it anymore, which I like a lot. And just your spawn angles, everything is going to be way better about this island. So I'm super excited about resetting it, and I'm super excited to show you as soon as I'm done. So I will see you next time. Peace.